What's up, you guys? It's me, Maddie, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different, a little bit fun. If you have seen Tati Westbrook's video of her testing out the Urban Decay Velvetizer powder, basically you mix it with your foundation and it's supposed to have more coverage and be smooth and all this great stuff. And if you want to go watch her video, you can go do that, whatever. Anyways, she used, like I said, the Velvetizer powder and then the Kokie foundation, and I was thinking well, I don't have either of those, and wouldn't it be fun to kind of do like a drugstore version of that? So I'm going to be doing the same thing. I'll be mixing powder and foundation together and basically seeing what's going on, if it's better, if it doesn't work out, type of thing. And I'll be using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation with the Coty Airspun. So basically we'll just jump right into it. Alright, so I'm going to do half my face how I usually do my foundation, which is just, foundation, then concealer, and then powder everywhere else. And then I'm going to do the other method on the other side. So I'm going to start out with my normal, and I'm using, like I said, the same products, but just in a different order, in a different, method with a beauty blender. By the way, I've already primed and moisturized and all this stuff. Alright, so now I have this half of my base done. I'm going to go in and do the other method. I'm kind of scared, not going to lie. Anyways, I'll take a few spatulas. I grabbed a little dish here. I'm going to put a few spatulas of foundation, and then Tati said that the little Velvetizer said to use like a dime size, so I'm just going to do that. Oh, it's going to take a while. I have foundation and I have about a dime sized amount, so I'm just gonna combine them together. Here's what it looks like. Okay, I'm gonna use the back of a makeup brush. This one will do, and I'm just gonna mix it up. Alright, one thing I'm noticing right off the bat is it's thicker. And it mixed actually pretty well together. It's not bad. So I'm gonna put it on my face. I'm really worried. I'm just gonna do it with my finger because why not? Yeah, that's way thicker than usual. Alright, so I'm just going to go in with a beauty blender just like I did on this side and see how it goes. Okay. I know that the Airspun, isn't meant to mix with foundation, and that Urban Decay powder is, the purpose is, either put it on top or you can mix it. And so I was just really curious to see if, you know, it really can only be that powder, or it can be this powder, or, you know, honestly, if this will even work at all, how it's supposed to, because it's supposed to make everything smoother and more full coverage. And one thing I am noticing is that since the Wet n Wild foundation is already like a matte finish, adding the translucent is making it even more matte, which, you know, isn't a bad thing necessarily. It's just matter. I don't think this is me just tripping out, but whenever I first put on my foundation and blended it out, it had less coverage than this. It really did. This does look a little cakier, but I'm gonna see what happens once I put concealer on and then powder over just the concealer. I'm not putting any more powder over my face, but I do think that this created more coverage, but I'm not a huge fan of the finish because it's like super matte, which I feel like I don't need to put a powder over the rest of it, which is kind of good, but it just feels wrong to me. So I don't know. I'm gonna put on some concealer right over that. I'm not really sure if this is the proper way to do this right now, but we'll see. If this concealer was in a different like tube, different packaging, I feel like I would totally want to try mixing the concealer with powder and then putting that on top too, but it's not really gonna work out, and I'm really more curious about how the foundations work together. Because if this is actually, you know, better than doing your makeup regularly, or even the same as the Kokie foundation with the velvetizer, I mean, that sounds pretty good to me. Oh, that actually looks really pretty. This concealer looks a lot brighter, and I think it's because this had such an opaque base that like kind of makes sense that it's brighter because it has a better base. So I'm gonna just really lightly set under here. Oh wow. Okay, that looks really smooth. Way smoother than my other side. Alright, I'm gonna go finish off the rest of my face and my under eye, and then I'll come back for the final verdict. Alright, so my final thoughts are, yes, mixing the foundation with the powder does give more full coverage, makes it a little thicker. It does make it really smooth. Because it's so thick, it kind of fills in all of your pores and has another layer, which you don't get on that other side, so I definitely see why it's more full coverage. But I am going to say I probably won't be using this little trick because of the fact that it's kind of inconvenient. Mixing it all together and then putting it on and then like doing all this stuff just doesn't seem, you know, as great to me. And this particular foundation, the Wet n Wild one, I think hands down it has pretty good coverage to begin with. If you work with it right, it's really buildable, so I would just probably build on that if I needed more. And I'm not super like, I do like a lot of coverage, but I'm not cake face, and I feel like this could get really cakey if you're not careful, and that's just not something that like sounds pretty good to me. So I'm gonna have to say yes, this works, but no, am I gonna use it? Probably not, unless I'm going like really ham, you know. So as for that, whatever. But also comparing it to Tati's video, I think that mixing these drugstore products together may not have given like that whole luxury vibe, but it did work the exact same way that the products in Tati's video did. So that's kind of the point of this video, is to compare it to those two products, the Kokie foundation and the velvetizer. And I think that this did a really great job in comparison to those two items. So I'll have to say this was basically a success. Like I said, would I use it again? I don't know if it's super practical, so yeah. I'm gonna end the video here. I really hope you guys enjoyed this little testing things out, luxury versus drugstore type of deal. If you do like stuff like this or like little experiment hack things, like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. I'm down with it. Thank you so much for watching.